Of my videos arguing with some of my followers because they refer to me as First Lady because I'm a pastor's wife. Their argument is First Lady is not in the Bible. And I'm like, the B word and the N word ain't in the Bible, but y'all call each other that like it's your government name.
Hey everyone. My voice is still healing. I am a servant of God, so I don't need a voice and truth will still flow through the word. Here we have an individual that has convinced herself that there is no harm in elevating oneself in spiritual matters. God did not give Christians, humans, or brethren a democratic option to edit his blueprint. God laid down his life for the kingdom. How dare you approach the king in all his mighty splendor and glory, that you hold the distinction as a first lady. You allow your brethren to address you in a governmental capacity. A first lady may have authority in the world amongst the heathens and political parties, but God reigns supreme to all principalities. Psalm 47 verse 8 says God reigneth over the heathen. God sitteth upon the throne of his holiness. So again, I ask you, who authorized you to a position of authority in his kingdom? What you don't understand is it is impossible for a woman to have authority in the assembly. You are in direct violation to God. 1 Timothy 2 verse 12 makes it very clear that women must be in submission to the leadership. Furthermore, it is a bit ridiculous to tell the Lord and his people, well, other people call each other names all the time. Error will never cancel each other out. The blind leading the blind, and both will fall. Christians are to be the example for the world. God will never be pleased with anyone infringing on his work, titles, roles, or names given to the children he birthed. If someone kept calling your child by another name, I assure you it would be a problem.
Make something clear. And I feel confident in saying that this is pretty much the mindset for most of the legit first ladies. We are not who we are based on what you call us. We are who we are based on who we choose to be. It's just a title. That's it. The term first lady is given to a woman who's married to a man in a place of authority, and is also given to women who are leading in a particular activity or career.
Is it biblical to call the wife of a pastor, elder, or minister the first lady of the church? I guess the real question is, who told you that you can add titles that do not exist in the kingdom of God? Who gave you permission to assign a role to classify yourself amongst the brethren? Do you really think God forgot something? Is being a servant for the Lord not up to your standard? It's actually silly when you think about it. Is it too hard for people to comprehend that you are the preacher's wife? What are you trying to tell others by announcing your position as the first lady? Are you different from the other ladies in the congregation? When we see titles that we cannot find in the Bible, the word that comes to mind is blasphemy. Denominations have no shame these days. Titles such as First Lady, Usher, Praise Dancers, Reverend, Honorary this or that are not authorized by God. Therefore, additional titles are make-believe, fictitious, an addition, imaginary, or man-made. Remember when King Saul added to the commands given by God? 1 Samuel chapter 31. Saul lost his mind, being ravaged with jealousy, his position as king, and ultimately his life. But if you still think that there is no harm in a name, and we can just make up titles for ourselves and still be in right standing, think again. Acts 10 verse 4, we see a gentleman named Cornelius. He is given strict instructions that will change the life of all Gentiles. The angel told Cornelius to send men to Joppa in search for a guy named Simon. Simon is a very common name in Joppa. So which Simon are they looking for? A guy named Simon whose surname is Peter. Peter is also a common name, so the man you need is lodging with a guy named Simon, but his title is a tanner. Bingo. If he had changed his title to one that doesn't exist, it would have went differently. To be continued.